Hello, and today we'll be checking out the Magento 2 RMA extension, that is the Return Merchandise Authorization System, using which the store owners would be able to manage the product returns, exchange, refunds, and order cancellations very easily. And the customers as well as the guest users can create an RMA request for the returning of the product or canceling the order delivery as required. So I'll be showing you the workflow at the customers end and the rest of the flow at the admins end as well. But before we proceed further, do subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to receive the latest updates from our end. If you find this particular video good to go, then do give it a thumbs up. So this plugin also allows the marketplace admin or allows the admin to create customizable fields for the RMA request form. And as I've already told you, RMA requests can be generated by the guest users as well. They just need to provide their order ID and the email address. Apart from that, the admin can create RMA reasons from the backend, thus helping the customers to choose one of the desired reasons. And lastly, the quick messaging between the store admin and the customers is there, so the admin can effortlessly manage quick responses and queries from the customer side. So I'm at the Magento 2 web store right now, if you can see, and I've not logged into my account here. And if I scroll down to the footer here, we have the RMA guest login. So if it's a guest login, if it's a guest user, he'll be able to what we say as he'll be able to set up the RMA or the return request by tapping here on this particular link. And that link brings up the guest login for RMA. Here the guest user needs to enter his order ID and email, and then he needs to tap here on the login guest, and thereafter he'll be able to see the complete list of orders that he has placed, and from there he'll be able to create an RMA as required. Now first let's check how a registered customer can do the same. So I've entered my username and password. I'll be logging into my customer account first. So I've logged into my customer account, and on the customer account option on the left hand side we have this particular customer block, and here the customer needs to navigate to the RMA submenu option, and from here he'll be able to create a new RMA. So let's tap here on the RMA submenu option, and under the RMA here we have the history, complete history of the RMAs that we have created. So here you can see the RMA status as solved in processing. From here the customer can also cancel any of the RMA that he has set up by tapping here on the cancel button. Apart from that, he'll also be able to apply the filters using the order ID along with the RMA status and the date. Now to add a new request or to do a new RMA request, the customer just needs to tap here on the request new RMA button on the top right hand side, and that will bring up the section. And here we are on the add new RMA page. So here we have the complete list of products for which we want to create the RMA. So first of all, we have to select the order for which the RMA request needs to be created. So let's choose this one, the order ID 526, and after tapping that up, after choosing the order ID here, now if I scroll down, then we have the items ordered. Now these item orders depend upon the particular orders itself, so they can be 5-6 products as well in that particular single order as well. So if I tap here on this 5251, okay, this also has the same single one. Okay, never mind. So you need to select your order, and thereafter what we need to do is let's generate an RMA for the 521 that we have here. So I'll just scroll down. Now from here I need to enter the return quantity. So I had purchased one, so I'll be returning one, so I'll just enter one for that. Okay, and then from the reason drop down we need to choose the reason why we are taking up this particular RMA for the order there. So I can choose for example quality issue, and if I have any images for the product, then I can add those images as well. For example, if there's a quality issue or it's broken, for example, or defective product delivered, for example, then I need to add images as well. So I'll just tap here on the add images, and then we need to tap here on the add image, and we can select one image, and that would be uploaded here for this particular product within the order, that's the 520. Then coming down, we have the product delivery status. So from here, the customer can choose whether the product has been delivered or not delivered. So the product is already delivered to the customer. Then we have a package condition. So from the drop down, you can choose the package condition as open packed, whether it's still packed or you have opened it. If you have opened it, you can choose it as opened. Then you need to enter your consignment number. So here you will enter the consignment number of the courier service that was used to deliver the product to the customer. Then we have the resolution type. So under here we have two different resolutions. One is exchange, then we have the cancel items. Okay, so basically, for example, if we choose it as the resolution type as exchange, then if a buyer needs to exchange an item for a different size, color, etc., then the buyer can exchange that item through this resolution type option. Okay, for the exchange. And for the cancel items, if the order status is in pending status, then the buyer can request an RMA for canceling the items ordered there. So we can choose it as cancel item or exchange one as well. Apart from that, you can also set the option for the refund as well. So if the buyer is not satisfied with the product, a refund would be made here. Then we have the additional information, and here the customer just needs to provide some additional information with the RMA request. And here the custom fields are also visible basically. So and under the return pickup time, we can choose whether we want to return the pickup for the order that we had placed. So if we are sending back the product, then we need to choose the return pickup time, whether you want to have in morning, afternoon, or evening. Then you can enter the return pickup address from where the courier service would be picking up the courier that we have set up for the return there. And lastly, we can also see here what we have is the return policy being there. We need to agree to that particular return policy and then tap here on the submit button thereafter. So let me just fill these details here, and then I'll just tap on the what we say as the submit request. So I'll just enter these details first, and now let me tap here on the submit request button. So I've just entered the details here for the RMA for that bottle product, and now we can see that the new RMA would have been generated. Now you can see that the RMA details have been saved successfully, and from here we can check the view RMA details. The RMA status right now is pending, the product delivery status is delivered, the resolution type is exchange, the additional information and the image that we had uploaded, and here we have the consignment number as well, the return pickup time, the return pickup address, and from here also we can upload additional images for this particular one. And here's our product that we want to basically exchange. And under that we have the RMA history and the conversation. So from here the customer can directly converse with the store admin, and they can just chat here, and all of those chat conversations would be visible here. And to send a new message, you just need to tap here on the enter message section under the send new message, and you can also choose a file to add to this particular message that would be then sent out to the admin. So for example, if we set it as test, and let me choose one image for the same. And now for example, we can also mark it as resolved when the incoming shipment is coming after we have returned the product. Whenever the product comes back and is shipped to the customer's address, at that time the customer can check this particular section checkbox here to mark the particular RMA as complete, and he can also choose to check to receive the emails. So for now we'll just enter the new message, and I'll just tap here on the submit request button. And before that, and this is the section, for example, the RMA history conversation. So here you can see the details up there. There are some attachments as well that have been added. And lastly, if when the product is arrives to the customer's home address, then he can access this particular section and check this particular checkbox here to mark this particular RMA as complete. And you can see the message that we had sent out, test, along with that particular image that is visible here. And Here you can see the messages there, your return request is under process. I can also view the particular image. Now let's go back to the RMA section here, and now we can see the RMA history. So this is the RMA that we had just generated for the order number 520, and this is the status for the same is pending, and under the actions column we have the option to cancel this one, or we can view that up again. So I'll just tap here on the view under the actions column to check the RMA history for this particular order ID. So here are the details of our RMA itself. Okay, now whenever the product arrives at the customer end, at that time when the customer comes to this RMA section for that particular order, by tapping on the view, he'll be able to close the request by checking here as check to mark as solved. And if he wants, he can also enter some more details here under the message, and then tap on the submit request. Okay, I'll just set it as closure, and I'll just tap here on the submit request. Now after we have checked this option, that what we say as the closure, here we have closed it out by checking that option. Now that option is not here, and here now we can see the print RMA button is there. So if I tap here on the print RMA button, the customer can see the complete RMA details here for the order. And alright, the printer is coming up for that. Let's wait for a second. So this is how it would appear to the customer then, the complete details of the order there, along with the communication history as well, the product, and the rest of the complete details as well. And now you can see for this we have the RMA status as solved for the order ID 520. Let me cancel that out. So this is the complete details of this RMA that we had just created. Now if I go back to my RMA section here, we'll be able to see the complete list, and now the RMA status for this order number would be as, so here's the RMA history, and here's the order number 520, and now it says solved, and now we can also view it from here as well. So that was much about the RMA for the customers end. Now let's go to the admin backend panel. Let's see what different configurations are there. So with that, I've just already logged into my Magento 2 based web store, and here, so to make the initial configuration settings, we'll just navigate through stores and then configuration, and here we need to navigate to under the Webkul block, we need to navigate to our RMA system. Just tap that submenu option here, and that brings up the RMA system configuration here. So under this you can choose the product types for the RMA. So return merchandise authentication. So if the customers are going for the RMA, then the product types that can be that are allowed for the RMA. So from here you can choose simple downloadable, virtual, configurable, bundle products, or the group products as per your own requirement there. Then the admin can set the return policy that is visible to the customers, as we have already shown you. Then we have the admin email, admin name, admin email. This mail is used to send out the emails to the customers. Then we have the enter dates. So basically the admin can enter several days up to which the customer can request for an RMA after placing the order. So if the number of the days will exceed the order date to RMA requesting date, then the customer cannot request the RMA for that particular order. Then we have select allowed order status. Okay, so here the customer can file RMA only for those statuses of the orders which is selected by the admin. So if the admin has selected complete in here, then the customer can select only that particular item for RMA which is shipped for that particular order. So if the admin will select all status for this option, that's the select allowed order status, then the customer will be able to register RMA with all status such as processing, pending, and complete. Then we have allow new RMA request for cancel requests. So if this option is chosen as a yes, then the customer will be able to generate the new RMA request after cancelling the previous one. If it is chosen as no, then the customer will not be able to create a second RMA request for the same order even after cancelling the first one. Then we have allow new RMA request for declined request. So if this option is chosen as a yes, then the customer will be able to generate the new RMA requests again, even if the admin has declined the previous one. And if no is selected, then the customer would not be able to generate the another RMA request once it is declined by the admin. Then we have the new RMA message to customer. Okay, so here the admin needs to enter the default message for the customer when the RMA is generated successfully. Then we have the allowed file extensions. So whenever the customer wants to add the attachments along with the RMA, he can make use of these file extensions that have been allowed by the admin. So only these can be used by the customers as well. You can add more file extensions as well as per your own requirement there. And lastly, we have the allowed payment methods for the RMA. So here the admin will select the payment methods for which the customers can request RMA. Only the selected payment methods would get visible at the storefront for the customers there. And lastly, you just need to tap here on the save configuration button, and we are done configuring the initial configurations. Now coming to the RMA system management, we'll see how the admin can manage the reasons. So for that, we'll have to navigate to the side panel of the admin here, and we'll have to navigate to RMA system. So let me scroll down. So we have the RMA system, and here we have manage all RMA. Let's go through each of them one by one. So I'll just give you an overview. Rest you can check the user guide that I've attached within the description below, along with the live demo of the plugin as well. So let's hop on to the all. The first one, the manage all RMA. So here the admin can see the complete list of RMAs that have been generated by the customers for the marketplace sellers as well. Here's the order 520 that we had placed. The RMA status was solved, and the admin can view the details of the same as required. Now let's go back to the RMA all RMA details, and similarly the admin can basically with the order with the RMAs for the respective order IDs that are here. Now he can also filter out the RMAs using the ID from and to values, order from to values, and created from to values. Apart from that, he can also choose the customer name, and he can make use of the RMA status to filter out the particular RMA that he's trying to search for. Coming to the RMA reasons, the admin can create multiple reasons. For example, we have the defective product delivered. So these would be available to the customers at the storefront while they are generating the RMA there. To add a new one, just tap here in the add new reason button, and it brings up the new reason section, and here you will have to enter the reason, choose it as enabled or disabled, and then tap here on the save reason button, and the reason would get saved and would be displayed then under the RMA reason list here, as you can see. Apart from that, the admin can also delete or change the status of any created RMA reason from the drop down. Can delete and change status of anyone. Now coming to the RMA shipping label here. So here the admin can delete and change status of the RMA shipping labels. So here we have a label for the exchange, as you can see, and to add a new shipping label, we just need to tap here in the add new button. This brings up the new shipping label section, and here you need to enter the label title, label image, and the label price, the shipping label price, and the status there. Then just tap here on the save label, and your particular shipping label would be saved and would then be available under the RMA shipping labels, and that's here under the manage shipping labels. And lastly, we have the manage RMA custom fields. So custom fields can also be added, and those would also be visible within the RMA section there whenever a customer is going for an RMA. So here the admin can delete or change the status of any of the RMA custom fields that he has created. He can add a new field by just tapping here on the add new field button. He can also edit any of the created custom fields as well. So he'll set up the field label, the field code, the type, whether it's a text area, drop down, multi-select, radio button, or a checkbox, and choosing the type would display the sections here, different sections. So if I go for the radio button, it's the same. If I go for text, it has only the sort order, whether the values are required or not, and the status as enabled or disabled. So that's how you can create a new custom field, and these fields would also be visible at the storefront on the RMA section there. For example, there's a radio button, and the label says, do you want to exchange this product? Then you can choose yes for that thing there, and that's how you can create multiple input types there, and the labels for the RMA custom fields. So that was much about the Magento 2 RMA plugin itself, and I hope it helped you out in understanding the flow of this particular plugin. If you still have any questions, queries, suggestions, or requirements, then kindly reach back to us at support@webkul.com, or you may raise a ticket at webkul.uvidesk.com. Apart from that, do give it a thumbs up if you like this particular video. And lastly, thanks for watching this particular video, and have a great day ahead.